Hello, good evening, Leandro. How are you? Is everything all right?
Good evening. Yeah, it's all right.
Great, that's good to know. So let's begin the class. This is a new course. This is going to be A10. So, first we're going to join the new platform. Actually, well, the same platform, but the new course on Pearson and also on Google Classroom. All right, let's begin by joining the platform here. I'm sending the link. You have the link in the chat as always. So let's first join Google Classroom, please. You know how it works, right? All the presentations are going to be here, plus the file that we use to write the examples. Okay, I'm going to open that one as well. And also there on Google Classroom, if you go to the stream, the main part, here you have access to the codes that you need or the ID that you need to join Pearson. Now, I want to know if you have access to the green product on Pearson and Leandro. This course requires us to use a new product, Pearson English Interactive 4, and this is green. Please go to Pearson and let me know if you can access the green product.
No, I don't have access, but I have a new
Username and password?
username and password. Yes.
Perfect.
But
Use that one, please.
I don't sorry, I don't sing in the platform.
Okay, so where do you have your new username and password? Do you have it with you, that information?
Yeah, in a PDF.
Good. So please, you have to sign out, right? And you're going to log in with that information. Let's do it, please. Signed out, right? Like I'm doing here. And log in using that information, okay? The new username plus the new password.
Okay. My English lab. English lab. Okay. I don't know what
So were you able to access? Are you there with the new username and password? Were you able to log in?
No, not yet. Not yet. It's a little bit slow, my internet. My internet is a little bit slow. Sorry.
Don't worry. Let's wait, please. It's important to join now because we have to assign the first unit. So it's important to join now. Okay, so I'm going to wait. Please tell me when you are in the platform and you see the green product with the new account.
Okay. Student 8. Oh, it's really slow.
Yes, let's wait. You're going to tell me, well, in the meantime, as you are loading or as it's loading, let's try to do something else. But actually, it's going to be important because first I have to assign, then we're going to cover the new, well, the unit that we have to cover now. That is the first unit. So leave it there, please. As it's loading, all right, as the page loads, we are going to start actually with the first unit. Okay, and you tell me when the page is there so that I can assign the first unit as well.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay, you're right. Okay, good. So you have the green product, right?
Yes.
Good. So open that one, please. Open that product, and you go to the settings. Okay, I'm going to show you here also. As always, the same thing that you did 2 times, you have to do it here. Okay, you go to settings first, as I'm showing you on my screen. When you go to settings, you are going to go now to join a course, right? And you know that can be there, or sometimes it can be down below. Okay, and you copy
Yes.
and paste the ID. The ID is, as I told you, on Google Classroom, but I am going to copy and paste that one also here. Okay, but it's in the chat as well.
Okay. Don't transfer grades. It's correct.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Good, so you're there. Let me verify that you are in the course so that I can assign this first before going to our first lesson. Let me see that you are here with me. Yes, good. Yes, of course. And you said you're student 8, so yes, you're right. So again, the usual thing. Okay, let me assign first the first unit, and then we can go to cover the first lesson. Okay, so the same thing, you know how this works. You still have today, right? You know, you still have today to finish. If you, in case you didn't, you can finish the assignments for the previous course, and you can still take the final exam in case you didn't. Okay, but if you did, well, no problem then. So let me just assign this first. Okay, the same logic, everything is going to be the same. So you have today and tomorrow, well, it's going to be to cover the lessons, but you're going to have one extra day to, well, to finish the assignments for this unit. So Wednesday, Thursday, we cover those 2 days, but you have until Friday to finish that. And one more time, 2 attempts, and that's it. And also let's work on the quiz, the first quiz that is over here. And there you go. Okay, so we're done with this. We are done with Pearson, the same until Friday, 11:59 p.m. and the 50 minutes that we usually have. So we're done with Pearson. Once again, if you have questions, you're going to let me know, but it works in the same way that we've been using it so far. Okay, so to get here to this is the first lesson for the last product, Pearson English Interactive 4. So they are asking us to work on a review, right? How can you define the word review, Eleander? What is to review something?
See it again. Yes, see it again.
Yes, that's correct. Is when you see something one more time, when you cover the same content once again to reinforce that knowledge, right? And what are tenses? What do you say? When they say tenses review, what is that we are going to review? What is a tense?
The past, present, and future tense.
Yeah, correct, exactly. Tenses are going to be this time reference, right? That are going to place us either in the present, the past, or the future, right? And the conjugation of the verbs itself. So that's good. It means again that we're going to review all the tenses, and this is going to be good so that you're sure when you have to use each tense. Okay, so far you should know 8 tenses. All right, but here we're going to be sure that you understand. Again, as this is not the real lesson, we cannot spend a lot of time in each tense. I'm just going to explain the basics, and you're going to let me know if you have questions. All right. But
Okay.
first, let's read, please. Let's read these 8 tenses that we have to know.
Okay. Simple present tense, be and other verbs. Present continuous, simple past tense, be and other verbs. Past continuous, simple future, future with be going to, present perfect, and present perfect continuous.
Great. Thank you very much. Now, at the end, we're going to write 8 examples. Okay, 8, but it's going to be at the end so that you remember what we're going to do now. But first, we're just going to practice by speaking and explaining. So, the first tense is the simple present tense. Okay, it has 2 rules. This is very important. Okay, when you use the verb to be, you only use the verb to be. You are happy. What is the verb? Are. You don't have you are being, you don't have you are running. That's the present continuous. Okay, no, not the present continuous. Only the present with be is only the verb to be. You are happy. He is not sad. Are they in the park? Right? Those 3 sentences and the question over there, they are in the simple present tense with be. Okay, you don't use another verb. Also here, you don't use auxiliaries. If it's negative, you say is not, right? Affirmative, he is sad. Negative, he is not sad. And interrogative form, is he sad, right? So if you have the verb to be, you don't use auxiliaries, okay? You don't use auxiliaries, and you don't use other verbs, only the verb to be, okay? But remember, if you use other verbs, if it's with he, she, it, what happens? You add the s or the es of the third person, right? She eats. If it's in negative, you need to add an auxiliary, do or doesn't, right? Es for he, because it's third person. Here, because of she. And when it's a question, what do? Always the auxiliary first, the subject, and then the verb. All right, but let's try to see. Read this part, please. Only this part over here, Leandro.
Okay. Use this tense for facts, routines, and daily activities.
Good, right? So a fact is something that is true and it's not going to change. All right. For example, if you say it can change, but not in a very common way. For example, if you say I have a brother, right? You're always going to have a brother. It doesn't matter what happens, right? You have a brother. If you say I am tall, you're always going to be tall. Of course, many things can happen, but you're always going to be tall. Okay, so those are facts, are descriptions. Then routines and daily activities, things that you did, or sorry, that you do repeatedly. All right, but let's try then to practice. Let's give ideas with the verb to be, please. Only the verb to be, Leandro. And try to use like this a description. So what description can you give me about yourself with the verb to be in affirmative?
Okay. Exhausted.
Good. Yes, that's a description. Exhausted, right? Exhausted. Great. So
with a description?
yeah, no, it's okay. That's actually a description of your status, right? I am exhausted. How do you say that in negative?
I'm not exhausted.
Good. And what about the question? How do you say that in a question?
Am I exhausted?
Yes, am I, right? Am I exhausted? Good. What about third person? Tell me something about your friend. A description. Now you have to use a different adjective, a different description.
He is crazy.
Okay, he's crazy. How's that in negative?
He is not, he isn't crazy.
Correct. And the question for that one?
Is he crazy?
Good, right? This is very simple. Again, we're going to go from the simple forms to the complex forms, right? Now, what can you say with the verb to be? You can say names, right? You can say, I am
Mhm.
Leandro, I am Luis, right? You can say your age, right? So how old are you, Leandro?
Um, I am 19 years old.
Good. That's your age, and you also use the verb to be, right? I'm
Mhm.
19 years old. Good. So how do you say the idea when you want to eat something? How do you say that? If you want to eat something, what do you say with the verb to be?
Um, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Good. When you want to drink something,
Um, I'm I don't know how to say sediento or
good.
yes.
Okay, so I'm going to write it in the chat. All right, so it's going to be thirsty first.
Thirsty. Okay.
Good. Good.
I'm thirsty.
Good. So look, you can mention names with the verb to be. You can mention age with the verb to be. You can mention status, how you feel with the verb to be, right? You can also show social status. For example, you can say, I'm single, I'm married, I'm in a couple, right? Or I'm in a relationship, I'm divorced, right? Social status. You can also give physical descriptions, right? So what physical description can you give about you, Leandro, using the verb to be?
Um, I am tall.
Okay, yes, that's one. I'm tall, I'm short, right? I'm
Mhm.
thin, like delgado. I'm a little bit chubby, right? Relleno. So you have descriptions with the verb to be, right? So you have a lot of options only using the verb to be and not using other verbs, right? But now let's go here. Other verbs. Here is mainly for routine. So tell me, please, three actions that you do every day. What do you say? What are three actions that you do every day, Leandro, using this, the simple present tense?
Okay. I wake up. Um, I eat my breakfast and I go to the university.
Very well. So good. That's perfect. Now, tell me three things that you don't do every day.
Um, okay. I don't uh, eat in a restaurant every day.
Mhm.
I don't um, play video games. I don't um, I don't know, see movies.
Okay. Yes, it's correct. Things that you don't do, right? And there it's correct, right? You can say see, watch are going to be okay.
Watch.
Both are okay, right? But both are okay.
Mhm.
But you know that watch is going to be okay. So I'm going to ask you questions and you're going to answer. Okay. So do you, all right, do you go to the market every day?
No, I'm not. I'm don't. I'm not. I'm not. No, I'm not.
Close on that one, but remember, if the question is with do, you don't use the verb to be, right? So if you don't have the verb to be, you don't use the verb to be, so you
No,
only
I
say
don't.
don't. Exactly.
Okay.
Good. So great, right? Do you go to the market every day? No, I don't. Good. So this is also a fact. Do you like to eat fish?
No, I don't.
No, I don't. Good.
Mhm.
Do you and your family go out frequently?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Good. All right. So the same. Now, with the same logic, let's talk about third person. All right. Tell me two things that one member of your family does every day.
Mm, yeah, my sister take a shower every day and
Close. Just one detail. Remember, if it's third person, you have to use the rule
takes.
Takes.
Okay. My sister takes a shower every day. And my mom um, my mom works every day.
Very well. And if you want to use the verb go, you say goes, right? My
Goes.
sister goes, my mother goes, she does, she takes, he eats, he runs, right? So always with the S, okay? Because it's he, she, or it. Great. What about negative? The same. Tell me, please, two things that members of your family don't do every day.
My sister again don't
But
don't
as in this case, it's only your sister, right?
do,
When I say members, is
doesn't
plural. Good. Doesn't. Correct.
doesn't. My sister doesn't do or doesn't make exercise.
Do you do exercise?
Okay. Doesn't do exercise.
Very well. That's one. One more, please. Also negative.
My father doesn't my father and my mother don't play video games.
Perfect. That's correct. As it is plural, it's great to say don't. Okay, good. Now let's finish with one last thing. Okay, you ask me, please, three questions. Okay, ask me three questions. Two questions for me, and one question for a third person. Okay, related to me.
Okay. Do you get out frequently?
Good. Yes, I can say yes, but remember, if you say get out, actually is to leave a place, right?
Okay.
Perhaps you can ask go out.
Go out.
Do you go out? Good. So I can say, yes, I do. I go out every weekend.
Okay.
Okay, two more, please.
Do you do exercise?
Yes, yes, I do. I do exercise every day. Now, one more, please. And this has to be in third person, okay? For someone in my family or for my friends or for anybody that is in contact with me.
Okay. Um, I don't know. Does your I don't know, do you have a sister or a brother?
Yeah, I have a sister actually.
Okay. Does your sister read something?
Yes, she reads a lot. Yes, she does, right? She reads a
Mm-hmm.
lot because of her career. Okay, good,
Okay.
good. There you go. All right, so you have to feel little by little bit, right, more comfortable with those questions. I think you're doing it great. Just remember, if it's third person, always the S in affirmative, right? She eats, she runs, she takes, she goes, whatever verb you want. If it's a question, always do or does at the beginning, right? Do you like to do that? Does she go there every day? And so on and so forth. All right. This is the first part. Let's go to the next one. The next one, this is very simple. Okay. The present
Mm-hmm.
continuous. Let's, again, this is for something that is happening now or something that is happening in a period of time in the present. Right. So let's read those three examples, please, Leonard.
Okay. Affirmative. You are listening to music now. Negative. He's not studying for the test right now. Questions. Are they speaking English?
Very well, right? This is very simple because you use the verb to be, and here you use another verb, right? The main verb is with ing, and that's the present participle. all right? And this entire tense is the present continuous. So this is simple. So I'm just going to ask you three examples, please, Leandro. Tell me something that you are doing right now, something that you are not doing, and ask me a question at the end using the present continuous.
Um, okay. I am passing is correct. Passing class.
Yes, and you can say in plural, it's going to be also correct. When you say I'm passing classes, you can say.
I'm passing classes.
Okay, good. Now,
Okay.
something that you are not doing now.
I'm not eating now.
That's correct. And now you can ask me one question in the present continuous.
Okay. Um, are you reading something?
No, I'm not. Right? That's something I'm not doing now. Okay, good. All right. So that's easy, right? The present continuous is very simple. We don't have difficulties there. Now, this is also very easy. The future would be going to. Okay. And when do you use this future? When you want to talk about plans or when you want to talk about evidence. Okay. If you have a prediction with evidence, you use be going to. Okay. So let's also read these three examples, please.
Okay, affirmative. You are going to travel tomorrow. Negative. He is not going to take the test next week. Questions. Are they going to write an article later?
Great. Okay, so this is future. It means that there has to be a future reference. Now, how do you form this? Very simple, right? And remember, you used this and it was good. But remember, there was only one mistake that you always say be going to. Okay, this is very important. So the formula is the subject, I, we, you, they, he, she, it, the verb to be plus going plus to. They are always together. Okay, always together. So are can change, right? This can be am or is. You are going to travel. She is going to travel. I am going to travel, right? After that, you have a verb in the base form. Okay, so this is the formula. This is the verb in the base form. And then you have a complement. Okay,
Sorry,
that's what you.
sorry.
Yes.
We can turn off the cameras because it's raining and it's a little bit laggy.
Okay, yes,
Please.
no problem. Yes, no problem, of course. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Now it's loading. I don't know why. All right, now it's good. Now, can you hear me well?
Thank you. Yes, much
All
better.
right, good. So remember, right? You need subject plus be going to, always be going to. Okay, you cannot say you are going travel. You cannot say you are going traveling, right? That's incorrect. Always going to travel, going to eat, going to go, going to, I don't know, drink, and so on and so forth. Okay, in negative, you only add not, and in questions, you use the verb to be at the beginning, then one more time. The subject, right? Going to plus the verb. All right, so let's try to do it. Tell me, please, a plan that you have in the future, something that you know that you're going to do, and tell me when you are going to do it, please, Leandro. What do you say?
Okay. I am going to cook my tomorrow's lunch. It's correct.
Okay, yes, it is. I'm going to cook tomorrow's lunch. That's good. And you're telling me
Tomorrow's
when, right? Good.
after this class.
Okay, very well. Good. That's great, right? So that's something that you have planned. It means that it is going to happen almost for sure, right? Good. Now, the opposite. Tell me something that you know that you are not going to do sometime in the future.
Okay, I'm not going to play video games this night.
That's correct. But remember, instead of this night, tonight.
Tonight. Yes,
Tonight.
tonight.
Correct. Now, a question. First, I'm going to ask you a question and then you ask me a question. All
Okay.
right. So, first, are you going to, I don't know, what could it be? Are you going to ride a bike this weekend?
No, I'm not going to.
Good. But if you want only the short answer, you can say, no, I'm not, period. And then you say, if you want, you clarify, right? No, I'm not, period. I'm not going to do it. Right?
Okay.
But if it's the short answer, only no, I'm not.
No, I'm not. Okay.
Okay, good. Now the same. You ask me a question also, please, in this type of feature.
Okay. Are you going to rest after this class?
Yes, I am. Great. Okay, so
Okay.
again, this I believe is very simple because if you realize every time you have the verb to be, it's very easy. Why? Because with the verb to be, you don't need auxiliaries, you don't need anything, you only need inversion and not. Right? And that's it. With the verb to be is very simple. So before going to the next part, I don't know if you have any questions so far, Leandro.
No, I don't have questions.
Okay, let's continue. Then this is also very simple. Will is a model that we use for future, for predictions, and for future facts. So let's read these three ideas, please.
Okay. Affirmative. You will travel tomorrow. Negative. He will not take the test in the afternoon. Questions. Will they write an article?
Good, that is correct. Now I have a question. How can you contract these two words, will not? How do you say the contraction?
Will with the its pronoun.
Uh,
Will
will with
with
not.
pronoun. I don't know. Willn't. Will not.
Actually, it's going to be this. I'm sure that you heard and that you use it. Is won't.
Won't.
Okay, won't. Exactly. I'm going to write it in the
Okay.
chat. Okay. For example, you can say, "I won't go tonight." It's in the chat. It means that you are not going to do that action tonight. Okay, won't. All right. So now this is the same. Yeah. Tell me,
Okay.
Leandro.
It's I think want is like no deberías or
More than no, actually here in this case, it's simple future, so it doesn't mean anything. It only changes the verb. Okay, the meaning of that one is, let me read it again. Yo no iré. Okay, o
okay.
no iré. Iré. For example, if you say I won't eat, means no comeré. I want travel means no viajaré, right? But when you say I'm not going to travel, it means yo no voy a viajar. Okay, but if you realize they are the same. If you say I won't travel, no viajaré, I am not going to travel, yo no voy a viajar, both are future. All right, but will has other meanings, and you're right. Sometimes it can have a different meaning, will, but we're going to see that in the future also. Okay, will
Yeah.
is when you don't do, or when anybody or someone, okay, doesn't do anything. Like this, I can say, when you want to say, tú no me prestas atención, okay, but you don't want to say that as a routine. You want to say that as a fact that I'm telling you, or as a description. So I can say, you won't pay me or pay attention to me. Okay, you won't pay attention to me. Or when you want to say, pero ella no me hace caso, you say, yes, but she won't, right, give me some attention, that she won't look at me, right? So you can use will in negative to say that something doesn't happen in present. Okay, but again,
Okay.
that's a different use. Also, you use will in questions for requirements. When you want to ask, for example, ¿me ayudarías? You can also ask, will you help me? Okay, instead of would you can say, would you help me? Like this verb, or sorry, this model that I'm going to write in the chat, would, or you can also say will you help me? But that's not future, like me ayudarás. No, that's translated to me ayudarías. Okay, so it depends on the context. All right, the context is going to change the meaning of will. But in this case, we are learning will as the suffix, let's say, ra, re, remos, right? Viajaré, viajaremos. That's going to be will in this case.
Okay.
Okay, so with that clarification, let's try to do the same. Tell me, please, one thing that you will do in the future. What do you say?
I will rest tonight.
Yes, that's an affirmative idea about the future. It's not a future fact, it's not a future prediction, it's just a simple future idea. Okay, and it's perfect. What about negative? Something that you won't do in the future.
I will not I forgot how to say dormir, dream. No, it's
Sleep. You can say
sleep.
sleep.
Sleep. Okay, I will not sleep until 10 a.m.
Okay, yes. I will not sleep until 10 a.m. Good. And also you can say the contraction, right? How can you say the same idea with the contraction with will and not?
Okay. I won't sleep until 10 a.m.
Okay, yes, that's correct. That's perfect. And the last one more time. I'm going to ask you a question, then you ask me one. So, will you, or actually, look, I'm going to ask a different question, not a yes no question. I'm going to ask a WH question that is not here. How do you answer this? What will you do this weekend? What will you do this weekend?
I'm gonna I'm gonna sell roses to San Valentin or Valentine's Day.
Great. And just the pronunciation is going to be Valentine's. For Valentine's Day. Okay, good. That's great. Now, also the answer is correct. You said with gonna, right? I'm gonna sell. That's perfect. But to practice with will, how do you say the same idea using will?
I will sell roses to Valentine's Day.
Great. Or you can say on Valentine's Day,
On
right? That's
Valentine's Day. Okay.
perfect. Great. That's correct. Okay, so again, this is very simple, right? If you have will, always the base verb. I will go, will travel, will eat, will drink, will study, will stay, and so on and so forth. Always the base verb. If it's negative, I won't. Again, with the base verb. If it's question, will plus you. Okay, now you, it's your turn. Ask me, please, one question using will.
Will you pass classes science science the morning?
Good. And there you can change one thing, but at first I'm going to answer. I can say, yes, I will. Okay, yes, I will. Now, there, instead of since the morning, you can say starting tomorrow morning or starting in the morning. Okay, since is not that, but usually you use since to talk about the starting period of time, usually in past. Okay, but it's better if you say starting tomorrow morning or starting in the morning. Okay, so one more time, ask that question
Starting,
one more time.
like a start.
To start, exactly, to start.
Okay.
Starting, but I'm using the D or the T as a D. Mhm.
Okay.
So this one, right? It's in the chat. Yes, it's a verb that you're telling me. Starting.
Okay.
All right. So one more time, please. Ask the same question using that word instead.
Will you pass classes starting at the morning? At morning?
But instead of at, you're going to say in the morning.
In the morning?
In the morning. Yes, correct. And I can say yes, I will, or no, I won't. Okay, good. That's great. Okay, that's will. Let's continue because the time, if not, is not going to be enough. Now, with simple past, if you realize here, Leandro,
Sorry, it's laggy.
have the same as in the simple. All right, let's wait some seconds, please.
Okay.
Okay, let me know how you can hear me now, please.
Yes, much better.
Okay, good.
No, it's still laggy.
So if you realize the simple past is the same as the simple past. Okay, I turned off some devices. I hope that's going to help. Let me know if you can hear me, please, Leandro.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let's wait that it's going to be okay. But you let me know, okay? If it's once again a little bit laggy, you let me know. All right?
Okay.
Again, the simple past is the same as the present, sorry, as the simple present. You have the verb to be and you have other verbs. All right, that's the first thing. With the verb to be, remember that you use two things, Leandro. Was for I, he, she, it, and were for we, you, they. Okay? And you use also this with some adjectives. Read the examples, please, Leandro. Affirmative, negative, and questions, but sorry, let me mark it, only with the verb to be, please.
Okay. Affirmative. You were happy. Negative. He was not sad. Questions. Were they in the park?
Good, right? So it's the same. You can talk about names, age, status, any type of physical description, right? Even place, as you see over there, place. All right. So let's give some ideas. Give me, please, one affirmative idea of anything with the verb to be in past.
Um, I were studying.
Huh? But remember, if you use another
I
verb,
was, yes, I was studying.
but close. Remember, in the only the
I
verb to
were.
be in simple past, you
Uh-huh.
don't use another verb. Okay, don't use another verb. Only was or were. Don't use studying, eating. Don't use a verb with ing. That's going to be the past continuous. Okay, that's
Okay.
going to be the past continuous. Only the verb to be. Remember, as the verb to be in present, I am tall, she is happy, they are in Bolivia, right? Only
Okay.
with the verb to be. So what do you say? What idea can you give me?
Entonces, I I was in the gym.
Good. You can say in the gym, or if it's a public place, it's better if you say at the gym.
At the gym.
Good. So good. How do you say that in negative now?
The same.
Yes, it can be the same.
Okay. I were not at the gym.
Close, but instead of were not, was not, right? I was not.
I was not.
Good. At the gym, or how do you contract that? You say wasn't.
Wasn't.
You say, I wasn't at the gym. Right. Good.
I wasn't at the gym.
And what about the question? What is the question for that?
Was I in the gym?
Yes, was I in the gym? That's correct. Or at the gym. Both are okay. Okay, both work. It just depends on the context. Now, let's try to use plural. Okay, tell me something about your family. Okay, using we. What ideas can you give me with we, Leandro?
We was in vacations.
Close, but remember, if it's we, if it's plural, you use not was, you use were. Exactly, right? So remember, it's going to be I, he, she, it, plus was, okay, and we, you, and they, plus were. Okay, so that's the rule.
Okay.
It's over there. Okay, I, he, she, it was. I was, he was, she was, it was, but we were, you were, they were. All right, so that's the rule. So one more time, tell me three things. Well, one thing that you can tell me about you and your family in affirmative, in negative, and one question, please.
Okay. We were on vacations.
Very well.
How do you say peleados? Fight? I don't know.
It depends. If you want to say like you argued, but it depends. If it was just because of an argument, a discussion, okay, verbal discussion, you are going to say something similar to enojados, like mad. Okay, mad.
Okay.
So yes, go ahead.
We were not or weren't mad between
correct.
us.
Or it's okay. It's enough actually if you only say mad, but if you want to clarify, you're going to say at each other.
At each other.
At each other. That's the idea in English. Good. So one more time, please, the complete idea in negative.
Okay. We weren't mad at each other.
Good. Exactly. It's like saying, no estábamos peleados el uno con el otro, o no estábamos molestos el uno con el otro. Okay, it's like saying that. Good. That's correct. Now, question. What question can you ask about you?
About me.
Or actually about you in the sense of you and your family.
Okay.
Like,
where we how do you say juntos, together?
Correct. Together.
Were we together at 6 p.m.?
Yeah, great. That's a great question. That's correct. Okay, no observations there. All right, so remember, if you use the verb to be, remember this rule, please. If it's, sorry, my mistake. If it's I, he, she, it, you say was. If it's we, you, they, you say were. Okay, that's something you have to remember. Now, let's go to the next one. We're going to use the time. Yes, we're going to work until 35. We're going to finish. Now, other verbs. What happens with other verbs? you conjugate in affirmative the verb in the simple past. If it's negative, you use didn't, but the verb is in the base form. Right? You don't say liked. It's going to be incorrect. You say liked in the affirmative form, but in the negative, you don't say liked. You say didn't like. Right? You don't use the
Okay.
conjugation. And in questions, you use did. Right? Plus also the base form of the verb. So let's read these three examples, please.
Okay. Affirmative. She ate fish yesterday. Negative. He didn't like the movie. Questions. Did you go to the gym last week?
Very well. Okay, so let's make this simple. Tell me, please, something that you did in the past. Okay, anything, just one thing, Leandro.
Um, I um, I how do you say drink in past? I forgot that.
Yeah, don't worry. You change the I for an A, so you say drink.
Drank.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I drank water. Um, um, how do you say hace? Hace, I don't know,
Depends
two
if
hours?
2 hours ago. Ago.
2 hours ago.
Very well. Uh-huh. And here, remember, ago. Okay, so great. That's why we have to practice because those details are very important. So remember, drink, drank, drunk. Okay, so here you need this one, the second one, right? Because it's what? The simple past. So this is the base form, drink. This is the simple past, drank. And this is the past participle, drunk. All right.
Okay.
You can remember this with this other verbs, sorry, Leandro. For example, begin. Look, what is the past of begin? Began, right? Or in this case, began. And sorry. And what is the past participle?
Begun.
Began. Exactly. So, sorry, one more time. Began. So here you have begin, began, began. Drink, drank, drunk. And you have more. Swim. If that's like I'm doing, so what is the simple past of swim?
Swam. I don't know.
Swim. Swim. And what
Swam.
is the past participle?
Swum.
Swam.
Swam.
Swam. Exactly. So remember, the a is an e and the u is an a. So it's drank, drank, began, began, swam, swam. All right.
Okay.
So it's ea, ea. So if you memorize those three, you're always going to remember. Okay, so drink, begin, and swim. They have the same conjugation. All
Okay.
right. So good. That's an affirmative. That's great. Drank. What about negative? Tell me something that you didn't do in the past.
I didn't sleep in the afternoon.
Yeah, that
At
is
the
correct.
afternoon.
No, in. When you talk about moments of the day, you always say in the for morning and afternoon, you say in the.
Okay.
But for a night, you say at night. Okay,
Okay.
so it's in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. All right, that's going to be the preposition. Good. Now, one question, please. Ask me one question about the past.
Okay. Um, did you eat something delicious today?
Great, very good. Yes, I did. Perfect. Good. That was a great question. All right. Now I'm going to ask you one question to finish with this. Actually, I'm going to try to cover two more before finishing the lesson in the 5 minutes that we're going to have. But the question is, where did you travel, let's say, in the past 5 years? Where did you travel in the past 5 years,
In the past 5 years, I um, travel. It's correct.
And travel is the base form, right? And travel is regular. What do you do with regular verbs?
Traveled.
Traveled, exactly. ED, correct.
Okay. I traveled to Tarija.
Good, that's correct. That's answering the question, and that's correct. Okay,
Mhm.
so if you realize this is something like paradoxical, right? It's paradoxical. Why? Because the simple present tense and the simple past tense are like the hardest tenses in English. Okay,
Mhm.
why? Because you have to memorize rules. You have to memorize the third person, she goes. You have to memorize the auxiliaries, right? Do, don't, do, does, did. And you have to memorize to use those auxiliaries in negative and in interrogative forms. All right, but again, I'm saying the hardest in the sense that you have to memorize more rules. But if you memorize these rules, you're not going to have any problems. Okay, just
Okay.
practice simple present and practice simple past, and all the rest of the tenses are going to be very easy. Okay, those are
Okay.
going to be the hardest. All right, so in the 3 minutes that we're going to use, please, this is very simple. Remember, past continuous, something that was happening in the past. So
Mhm.
this time I read the examples. It says, you were, remember, I, he, she, it was, we, you, they were. Okay, so
Okay.
you were listening to music at 8 p.m., past continuous. He was not studying, or he wasn't studying for the test when you called, past continuous in negative. And were you speaking, sorry, I don't see because of the bar I have there. Were you speaking English? And you can say, yes, I'm sorry, were they speaking English? You can say, yes, they were, or no, they weren't. All right, so
Okay.
one of
Mhm.
each, please, Leandro. Give me one affirmative thing, something that you were doing in the past.
Um, I was reading an ebook.
Correct? Very well. What about negative? Something you were not doing.
I wasn't resting.
That is correct. And again, you can give
Mhm.
some time reference, but for the examples are good. And what about a question? Ask me a question, please, in the past continuous.
Okay. Were you watching a movie?
Good. Very well. And I can say, yes, I was, or no, I wasn't. Good.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me ask you also one question. Were you, and I'm going to add something extra, all right? So I can say, were you completing the assignments when you finished the class? How can you answer that? Were you completing the assignments when you finished the class?
Um, yes, I was.
Correct, right? Just I was,
Mhm.
or no, I wasn't. All right, good.
Okay.
We have 1 more minute. Good. We only have two, and these are the last two that we covered. Remember,
Okay.
the present
Mm.
perfect and the present perfect continuous. All right. Actually,
Okay.
this is something we didn't practice as much, but we're going to do it not now. It is going to be tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so that you remember very well, because this is very important, and this one as well, right? Something that you have been doing lately, and it has a contact with the present. Okay, so we're going to cover these two tomorrow. They are very important. And here you have a chart with all the tenses.
Okay.
Okay, so if you have any doubts as you are speaking or writing, Leandro, you can use this chart and you can verify the logic of the tenses in affirmative, in negative, and in the interrogative form to see if you are following the rules and to see if everything is correct. All right,
Okay. Mhm.
good. So that's it. We're going to finish then here. Everything is done on Pearson. You have access to the platform on Google Classroom, so it means we can finish. I'm sending the poll as always. You should be able to see it now. And that's it. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Leandro. Bye bye.
Have a good night. Thank you.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.